On the phone lines with us today, we have Jeremy Camp. How's it going today?
I'm doing awesome. How are you?
I'm doing awesome as well. We are 2 weeks away from Christmas, so I'm really excited.
Oh my goodness, I cannot believe it. It's kind of flown by, hasn't it?
It really has. I think it comes quicker every year.
Yeah, which is crazy. My kids are growing up quicker, so then it's kind of like, okay, my daughter's 14. Isn't that crazy? My oldest daughter's 14, and my other daughter is 13 almost, and my son's 7.
Wow.
So it's kind of been crazy.
You know, when they get to that age, that means that their presents get more and more expensive.
Oh, yeah. You know what was rad, though? Check this out. So yesterday, I mean, this never happens. My daughter goes, Dad, I don't really want anything for Christmas. I'm not kidding you. I was like, what do you mean? She goes, this is so sweet, though. It's really sweet of her. She goes, I just have all that I need. I was like, oh, that was really one of the sweetest things that she could have said. I'm like, okay, perfect.
Aww.
This year has been a good year.
Oh, that's awesome.
So because of that, I'm going to buy her whatever she wants.
I was going to say.
Whatever you want.
Now you get all the things.
Yeah, I'll get you everything now.
So teenagers who are listening right now, that is the magic key to tell your parents.
Yeah, exactly.
That is what to say.
I have everything I need. Perfect.
Oh, but don't blame you if they get nothing under the Christmas tree.
Yeah. Don't blame me though. I'm just saying, works for me. It might not work for your parents. I don't know.
Well, Jeremy Camp, you are part of the Hits Deep Tour 2019. That's going to be coming to the Huntington Center in Toledo on Thursday, February the 28th. Alongside of you, of course, it's Tobymac's tour, but also Ryan Stevenson, We Are Messengers, Aaron Cole, and Jordan Feliz. You guys are kicking off this tour later this month. Are you excited?
I'm so excited. Now, so me and Toby? Tuber? I think I was going to say
Tubular.
Toby toured, and all kind of went together. Tubular. So me and Toby toured together on co-headlining thing, I don't know, it was 10 years ago, called the Boom Beyond Measure Tour. I don't know, do you remember that?
I do not. No.
Yeah, it was 10 years ago. We did this tour together, and it was amazing. So I'm excited to see it. It's the first time we've done that since then. And so we have me and him and Jordan Feliz and Ryan Stevenson. And it's like Aaron Cole. What an amazing lineup. So I'm pretty fired up.
Yeah, it's going to be an awesome show. Now, you mentioned going on tour with Toby 10 years ago. Do you remember first meeting Tobymac?
I do. I was actually on a tour, my first tour ever. Like, this was 16 years ago. He was on the tour. It was me and, like, Mercy and Me, Audio Adrenaline, Tobymac, Out of Eden, Benjamin Gate, which is where I met my wife, Pillar, all these different bands were on this tour. Sanctus Real. Isn't that crazy? Good old Sanctus, Toledo, Ohio.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
Toledo's own Sanctus Real. They have a special part in our hearts.
Yeah, I love it. So anyway, so I remember first meeting them, and I was like, that's DC Talk. I mean, just like in your brain, you're like.
Now, so you were a DC Talk fan before, obviously doing your own thing, or?
Oh, for sure, big time. I mean, I loved Christian music, and it was fun for me because I love Christian music, and so to be able to play with these artists, that I grew up listening to, Darza Clay and DC Talk, Audio Adrenaline, all these different people was such an honor. And Stephen Curtis Chapman, Michael Peter Smith, and just going, this is crazy. So I think it's really sweet because it reminds me to some of these younger artists because they'll come up to me and say, I grew up listening to new music, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's true. You're the same kid I was, going, this is what I did. And so it's really wanting to make sure that I'm, in a sense, mentoring and encouraging these younger artists because they even grew up listening and they're looking up to you. And so it's been really a sweet new season of that for sure, which basically means I'm old.
Nobody said that.
Saying is I'm old. Yeah.
No, you are celebrating your birthday next month.
Yes, I am. January 12th.
Now, do you have any big plans for that yet?
No, because my big birthday was this year, was last year basically, and so this year's kind of like my family's coming out from South Africa and New Jersey. Well, actually, my wife's family, and they're flying out to hang out for the month, and so we're excited about that. So that'll be more my present, just to see them.
A month worth of in-laws? Are you sure that's a present?
Okay, it's not actually a month, it's 2 weeks.
Okay.
So I limited it to 2 weeks. I'm like, let's do 2 weeks. That's going to be about enough. I'll pull my hair out.
Yeah, right?
I'll have some hair left.
Oh,
sure.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, well, a lot of families I know have like that 3-day rule, right? Like, you can visit for 3 days, and once you go beyond that, things just, you can go stay in a hotel.
Family from that's 15,000 miles away, you know, you got to kind of go, okay, I got to have some exceptions here, I guess. You know what I mean?
Well, that'll be great. I'm sure your kids are excited to see their grandparents and all of aunts and uncles and whoever else is all coming out. So
cousins and for sure.
Well, that'll be a fun time. Now, speaking of family, do you guys have any holiday traditions that you usually do and take part in this time of year?
I mean, we always have the Christmas Eve service where we sing songs and then we wake up in the morning and we read Luke chapter 2. So we read that together as a family, and then we'll pray and we'll talk about, you know, the gift of what Christ brought us and why we celebrate Christmas. So we kind of make sure that before we even start opening gifts, it's a very focused, but it's fun still. And we sing open gifts, and as we're opening gifts, you know, we'll start singing some songs, and it's just kind of it's a fun little tradition. Christmas Eve service, and then morning just kind of preparing your heart, but having fun and singing songs, and then making the egg casserole, which actually I love.
Okay.
Sounds probably like, some people are like, gross. Yeah. But it's just, I don't know, it's nostalgic, you know what I mean? It's like the breakfast egg casserole. I can't wait.
If you put some bacon and some cheese and stuff in there, and you're good to go.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Anyway. You're like, yes, exactly.
So we are talking to Jeremy Camp, part of the Hits Deep Tour 2019, coming to Toledo to the Huntington Center on Thursday, February the 28th. Now, I know you guys haven't started the tour yet, but what can people expect out of this show?
Well, I think the great thing about this is it's very diverse. Well, I mean, if you talk about Tobymac, diversity.
Diversity.
Anyway, anyway, but it's very diverse, which means like you're gonna have every type of style out there pretty much. And so I think that, you know, I'll bring kind of both, more the pop rock and then some worship, and then you have Jordan pop, and then you have Ryan Stevenson and some acoustic, just cool rad stuff. You know, We Are Messengers, Aaron Cole, Toby. It's just this eclectic night of rad, different types of music. So I think that anyone that comes is going to enjoy the night. You know what I mean? And so I always encourage people, it's going to be an amazing night of music, but the great thing about it is I know these guys' hearts too, and they love Jesus. And so I'm excited to see what the Lord's going to do.
Well, we are excited for the show. The lineup is absolutely awesome. And then Jordan Felice just getting added recently. So that just adds a whole nother level to it. We are so excited about the Hits Deep Tour.
Yay, me too. Perfect.
Now, you just got done pretty much with your own tour. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're done. And I usually on the holidays, like after my tour, I usually kind of lay dormant and silent, even like social media. I'm pretty mellow on social media because I'm like, all right, this is my family, not, you know, even like doing interviews, it's hard because my brain's kind of much. I'm like, okay,
you're like, I'm turned off for a while.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But I still enjoy it because I'm like, I don't know, it gets me excited because I get excited about the year. So, like, even talking to you, I'm like, yeah, I'm fired up about this year. So, anyway, yeah, I'm excited about it.
Well, speaking of your social media, on Instagram, I saw something where it was like the end of your tour, and your band went to do a big finish, and you went to do a jump, and the band didn't cooperate with you.
Oh, my goodness.
That was great.
You have to go on Instagram and check that out, because they pulled a prank on me in the last show of the tour where, I jumped up, and usually, you know, you jump up and land, and the band kind of lands with you, and there's this whole kind of drum trash can ending. And I jumped, and then all of a sudden, like, they didn't do anything, and I heard my boots just go conk on the ground on the stage, and I just started dying laughing because they all started chuckling. And my drummer was standing up, like, hey, I'm not going to even touch the drum. And the crowd just lost it. Nice. Everyone started laughing. It was quite funny.
That's awesome. Did you have anything else unexpected happen on your tour?
No, not really. It was a pretty mellow tour. You know what I mean? I mean, me and Matthew, we had some really funny nights and fun. Just like we on stage would just notice things. Like one time, this lady was eating a pretzel, and we're like, "Can we have a piece of pretzel?" And we're just eating a pretzel, talking, just random stuff like that. Because me and Matthew, we get together, just our kind of random personalities, I think, kick in, and so that was fun. I really enjoyed that.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a blast, and I hope you enjoy the last, or the next few weeks while you get to just kind of relax and take some time with family before jumping in and figuring out what craziness Toby and Ryan and all the rest of the guys are going to bring.
We'll see for sure, yeah.
Oh. Now, I know back in October you got a chance to play at Purdue University, which was kind of like a dream locale for you. How was that show?
That was amazing. Like, just people showed up, and which I was like, hometown there was like, people don't actually care, when you come back home, and then people showed up and packed it out, and it was amazing. And honestly, I think to me, this has been a very, I used nostalgic earlier, but it's a very nostalgic year in a lot of ways. God's opened some really cool doors that I can't announce till March. They're going to be awesome. But my point is that because of that, it's brought back a lot of memories and a lot of just where God kind of started with this whole thing and how God used this and the hardships that I went through, to write the songs that I wrote. And it's just kind of been a really reflective year. And a lot of amazing songs have come from this year, just reflection. And so I'm really fired up about that as well.
Awesome. And now I don't know if you can tell us much, but is there anything that you can tell us about what is coming up next?
It has nothing to do with music. Well, it does, but not putting out music.
Okay.
Let's just put it that way.
Okay. Hey, we'll take it. We will be patient. We will wait. We will wait.
I know. I've been sworn to secrecy, so anyway, it's all good, though. It's awesome stuff.
Fair enough. Jeremy Camp, part of the Hits Deep Tour 2019, coming to Toledo. It's going to be at the Huntington Center on Thursday, February the 28th. Jeremy Camp, you have something special going on right now. It's, everybody's doing those subscription services. You can get pretty much anything on a monthly basis, but you've got something different. You've got a Jeremy Camp box. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we got approached by this company, and at first, I'm not a big, merchandiser guy. I don't like pushing me, so it's always hard, because everyone's like, Jeremy Camp box. I'm like, okay, well, what's this going to be that's more beneficial to other things? And so they said, okay, what if you did this? And we had this big conversation, which was amazing. What if we gathered all the organizations that we support? Like, we have a lot of friends that are missionaries around the world, a lot of ministries that we actually support, friends that, that have ministries that are radical and amazing. So I said, what if we gather those type of things? Like, we have a friend who wrote a book called Reload Love, which is they go to war-torn countries and they do these playgrounds that basically these kids, they're in these camps because they're places are war-torn, these camps that have nothing. You've seen the refugee camps, and they go in and are allowed to build these playgrounds, and these kids are able to just do something that is actually what a kid wants to do and play. So there's stuff like that, or, Haiti Made. Here's a bracelet from Haiti Made. And then there's that fun stuff, too, like, hey, here's a coffee place that I love to go to, just to kind of be more personal. So I think for me it's been fun because it's showing more of who we are as a family. And my wife's been a big help with that as well, and we've talked through. So it's actually me and my wife that have been heavily involved in doing that, and it's been really fun. Like, I kind of was like, didn't know what to think about it at first, but we've seen how it's benefiting our friends as well, because a lot of the proceeds are going to that. So it's like, oh man, our friends are getting benefited. Their awareness of their ministries are being brought out. And so me and my wife were doing something together, and I was kind of saying, hey, this is a personalized thing from me and my family. So it's been really fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with us today. We appreciate you taking time. Even though you're on your break and your mind might be a little mush, we thank you for talking with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. You're awesome.
Oh, now, before you go, can I ask you, would you mind praying for our station and praying for our listeners?
I would love to. It'd be amazing. Lord, I thank you so much just for Toledo and Yes FM and just what you're doing there, God, and how you've used them radically throughout the years. I just pray that you would open up doors beyond what they can even fathom or even imagine. I thank you for what they've done for proclaiming the gospel, Lord, how people's lives have been changed, people's lives have been touched. God, I just pray that more people will come and know you, Lord, that more people will be drawn to you. I pray for blessings on every aspect, God, even financially, God, and even reach, where they reach a greater, broad place, Lord, for you and your kingdom. Lord, I thank you so much for the lives that you're using, SFM and Jessica, and Lord, just we're so grateful. Just bless them in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you live in concert in February.
You're awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, God bless.
You too.
Bye.